What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Alolan DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Now last episode we covered, let me remember, what did we actually cover? We covered Weavile, the dark ice type, and I gave it a choice between two ground types for today. We had Gastrodon, the water ground, and we had, well, the ground water, whichever way around it is, and we had Palossand, the ground ghost type, and you guys chose Palossand, the newer Pokemon, so that's what we're covering today. But for next episode we have two water types to battle it out, one Generation 2, one Generation 7, so we have Lantern, we have Bruxish. So you want some water electric or some water psychic? Let me know down below in the comment section by commenting either Lantern or Bruxish, and the more the most votes will be covered next episode. But for now, let's jump in and have a look at Palossand. Palossand is number 770 in the National Pokédex, is a ground ghost type and the Sandcastle Pokemon, funnily enough. It stands at 4 foot 3 inches or 1.3 meters, so it's a pretty big sandcastle, and weighs 551.2 pounds or 250 kilograms, so yes, it would take you a long time to make that on the beach. It's in the amorphous egg group, and the male-female split is a simple 50-50, with its pre-evolution being Sandygast, which evolves into Palossand starting at level 42. Looking at Palossand's base stats, you can see its highest base stat is defense at 110, then special attack at 100, and then you move further down to health points at 85, attack and special defense at 75, and finally speed at 35. So a slow Pokemon, but a physically defensive and specially attacking Pokemon is how we're going to run it. In terms of abilities, there are two available. The first is Water Compaction, which boosts its defense stat sharply when it's hit by a water type move. So basically, after you take one water type attack, you lose your weakness to water. Now, this seems pretty good, you know, okay, cool, you just have to survive one attack and then you're pretty good, but, you know, special defense is pretty low, so it's a decent ability in cases you just have to make sure you can survive that first move. Obviously Sandveil as the hidden ability is okay, you know, it's alright, but of course it's not generally used because Sandveil boosts evasion, which generally isn't seen as a brilliant strategy, so in many cases you won't be able to use it, but either or would work fine if you can use both. So look at the resistances. There are three. Look at the typing with the resistances first, obviously. 3 resistances in Poison, Rock and Bug, a 4 times resistance to Poison as well, thanks to the ground and the Ghost, so it's pretty good there. However, 5 weaknesses with Grass, Water, Ghost, Ice and Dark, so there's quite a few weaknesses there, so even if you eliminate the Water type with Water Compaction, there's still 4 others that catch you off guard. However, it does have 3 immunities in Normal, Electric and Fighting, so you have plenty of types you could switch in on, you know, just to absorb and you know, not even take damage from a move. Obviously takes you from the other 7 types: Fire, Flying, Ground, Psychic, Dragon, Steel and Fairy. So I'd say it's an alright typing. Overall it's not too bad. It's not amazing typing, but it's decent, I suppose. So what moves could we use with our Palossand? Well, as mentioned, it's physically defensive, so obviously there's going to be some moves, some status moves to support that, and specially attacking, so of course there'll be moves to focus on that as well. And that's what we start off with. At level 36, it can actually learn Giga Drain, which is interesting because it's not grass type, but pretty cool nonetheless. Only 75 base power, but there's a nice big health and restoration there with that move, so definitely worth running. You could predict your water type move, you can Giga Drain, heal most of it up, and then of course you've lost your water type, you know, weakness, so you can go from there. Other level moves at level 41 we have Shadow Ball, so slightly more powerful. Of course we get Stab on this as well, so this is generally one of your main attacking moves. Giga Drain is for when you need health points. And then next up we have another stat, which is Earth Power at level 47, 90 power here rather than 80, so that's even higher, pretty good. And of course, pretty good again in the fact that it's your Stab. And then for the final level up move, we actually move away from attacking, we go to status moves now, and we have Shore Up at level 54. Now Shore Up restores your health points, so it's like, you know, your proper health restoration, but it depends on the actual you know, type of, you know, battle situation. So normally it restores half health points, pretty good, but if you're in a sandstorm it restores 2/3 of your health points, so that's pretty decent. So definitely viable to run in a sandstorm because of course it doesn't damage from it, so you can set your sandstorm up with another Pokemon, switch in, and you've got Shore Up for as, you know, as long as you can. Just you're gonna take, you know, heal up most of your health points, which is pretty effective there. A couple of TMs move on to though with TM6 Toxic. Obviously you're tanky, so if you're going full tank you could have one attacking move, but then Toxic is a side move. 90% accuracy since you're not poison type yourself, but still pretty decent to run. And then the other TM we have here is TM17 Protect, so if you combine this, you know, combine Palossand with the leftovers, of course you can protect every return to restore some of that health points with leftovers, although, you know, it's a bit of a stally strategy, so you might not want to do that, but We also have some egg type moves, or egg moves. First up is Amnesia, which of course sharply raises your special defense. The reason for this is because our special defense is pretty low to begin with, whereas our physical defense is pretty high. So if we were to use Amnesia, they sort of balance out, and you don't really have a glaring weakness to special water type moves, for example. The other egg move we have is Stockpile, which of course increases both your physical defense and your special defense. So if you just stockpile up, we're not looking to swallow or to spit at all. We just want to stockpile up and just get those defense boosts rolling, really. So how can we use this with sets? Well, we're going to look at two sets for Palossand. The first one is sort of your mix, I suppose you could say, with defensive but with some offensive capabilities, whereas the second one is focusing more on pure defensive. So the moveset for the first one is going to be Amnesia or Stockpile, Shore Up, Earth Power or Giga Drain, and then Shadow Ball. Ability is Water Compaction, that's what we're running with rather than Sand Veil, and the nature is a bold one. The held item is a weakness policy, funnily enough, and the EVs we have maximum health points and maximum defense, along with 14 special attacks. So the idea here is Amnesia or Stockpile. Amnesia gives you big boosts in special defense, Stockpile gives you big boosts overall, so it's whether you want to be focusing on shoring up this glaring weakness in special defense or just overall tankiness. Shore Up is your main health and restoration, Earth Power or Giga Drain, 1 stab. The reason we're not running both is because both are not lower powered, but Shadow Ball gives you 1 stab here. Earth Power is a good coverage to another stab, but we have to fit Giga Drain in somewhere because we need some extra help and restoration, so Earth Power is the one that takes the full there. You could run Earth Power and Giga Drain, but generally they serve the same purpose. Good type coverage overall against similar types, so either or works there. As mentioned, the Water Compaction ability is in sort of symmetry and in sync with the weakness policy, because you get hit by a water type attack, hopefully your defense boosts, weakness policy activates, your attack boosts, your special attack boosts, get boosts all around, and then you can hopefully use that with a Giga Drain to restore most of the health points you need, and then Earth Power and then Shadow Ball to wipe the enemy out. We have a bold nature to increase our physical defense because that is the highest stat anyway. If you're running Amnesia, you can quickly shore up that special defense, and obviously Stockpile is going to raise that physical defense even higher if you do run it that way. And the EVs are similarly maximum health points and defense, because we need a defense that's really quite high. So if you see a physical water type attacker, you want to switch your Palossand in, try and bait them into attacking you with like an Aqua Jet or a Razor Shell, for example. You get the boosts from everything and hopefully go from there. Whereas there's this special type water attacker, you're going to have less luck, so you need to be careful when you use this. But the EVs bulk up that physical defense, and then some boosts in special attack really. We could put it in special defense as well, but just a tiny bit of power there. In terms of using the set, as mentioned, you want to bait a water type attacker to hit you with a water type move. Not sorry, a water type attacker, but any water type move hits you. It will boost the water compaction, boost up that weakness policy. Of course, if they decide to hit you with a grass type move instead, you still get the weakness policy boost. So there is something there, and just go from there. Really, it's not much more to it than that. Once you've got the weakness policy off, you can start rolling through the enemy team. Hopefully, you're not the fastest. Hence why that Amnesia and the Stockpile needs to be done beforehand to build that up for yourself. If we then move on to the second set, very similar, just with a few different move choices. So we have Amnesia or Stockpile or Protect for the first move, Shore Up and then Earth Power and then Toxic, Water Compaction as the ability, a Bold Nature, a Weakness policy again, and the EVs we have maximum health points, maximum defense, and now just putting some in special defense this time, although that's just because we have the more defensively oriented build. So Amnesia, Stockpile, Protect, similar to the first set, you go for special defense boost or you go for overall boosts, or Protect here because we have Toxic. You can now Toxic the opponent and Protect every other turn to slowly stall them out in that sense there. Amnesia and Stockpile can do similar things, of course, but you're still going to be taking damage, you're just going to be taking less damage. Shore Up is your help and restoration, Earth Power is your main attacking move. We go for this over Shadow Ball because Shadow Ball obviously can hit normal types, Earth Power can hit flying types, but generally flying types I guess are less prevalent. Really either one would work here, but we're just going for Earth Power, especially because Toxic can deal with flying types pretty easy. Generally you don't really have poison flying types, you have poison ghosts with Gengar and whatnot, a lot more. Toxic is the last slot as mentioned, because that's really what this set is doing over the previous one. It's not relying so much on attacking, it's just relying on Toxicing and stalling out. So Water Compaction again is the ability of running, Bold Nature again to boost that physical defense higher, Weakness policy again, you could switch that for leftovers as well, to get those leftovers boosts while you're protecting up, if you are protecting up. But weakness policy is here just for the fact that if we get hit by a water type move or a grass type move, whatever, we can still fire off some pretty deadly earth powers there to do some decent damage. Then we have health points and defense maximum EVs, just similar before, and then we actually put some in special defense this time because we're going for the full defensive build. You could make some stuff around here. You could get rid of Earth Power completely and just have Amnesia and Protect. So you can boost your special defense and then protect every other turn, so you then obviously not need the weakness policy, and you could then put the leftovers there, or something similar to go for sort of full defensive. Like, I'm not going to attack you, I'm just going to toxic and poison you down. So it can be used in a few different ways here, but generally the idea will be going Amnesia or Stockpile up if you've got those moves, else just start attacking them and toxicking them up, and then Protect, basically just be a really annoying person just stalling out with Toxic and Protect. But that is going to be it for Palossand today, guys, so don't forget to vote for next episode's Pokemon. It's either going to be Lantern or Bruxish. Let me know what you'd like to see by commenting either of those down below in the comment section. But for now, this is going to be it for today, so I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, my friends.